This is another reading of Lord Maher, page 3282. Chapter title is Dehradun, 1953. Because Kishan Singh would bring people for Baba's darshan in Dehradun, Baba ordered that a similar board be put up at their residence. Uh, the similar board is that Baba had tried to make contact with Swami uh, Swami Krishna um, in the previous page, and um, Swami Krishna had at the ashram there was a board saying he's not giving darshan till a later date. Anyway, so Baba ordered that a similar board be put up at their residence, stating that darshan would not be permitted until 23 March. Baba enjoyed the situation immensely and related to Kishan. Although I am God, I am coming back from the Swami's door without taking his darshan. And you tell me that if I don't give darshan to people, I would be hurting their feelings. From there, at about 10:30, Baba went to the ashram of Kali Kamliwala, but he did not look pleased or satisfied, even though he bowed to a number of sadhus. The reason was that the manager of the ashram recognized and garlanded him, so that the work Baba wanted to do incognito could not be done. Baba wished to bow to several more of the sadhus, but word got out that Meher Baba had come. Baba later remarked, "My work was spoiled there, and what I wanted to do could not be done because of the reception given." A great must named Nilkanthwala lived near a waterfall in the depths of the Nilkanth forest, thus his name. This high must was of the sixth plane and was completely naked and very robust. He was quite tall, and people also called him Nanga Baba, the naked one. After leaving Kamliwala's ashram, Baba contacted Nilkanthwala and was highly pleased with his contact. And the footnote says, thereafter in that area, Nilkanth was nicknamed Meher Baba's Must. Baba contacted this exceptional must several other times and later even had him brought to Satara, Pune, and Merazad. Baba then contacted several sadhus in Keshav Ashram and another must nearby, also called Nanga Baba. After lunch and a short rest at Shantikoti, Baba left with the Mandali to continue his work. They took a rowboat across the Ganges River, where Baba contacted more sadhus at the Swarg ashram. They also visited Gita Bhawan, a building which had the entire Bhagavad Gita painted in bold letters on the walls. Thus, by evening, 500 contacts had been made that day. On the way back, they stopped briefly at Swami Shivananda's ashram, where Erich delivered a message to him from Baba. After completing his work in Rishikesh, the next day, Tuesday, 3 March 1953, at 10 a.m., Baba and the Mandali drove to Hardwar. Helen, Helan was driving Baba in Kishan Singh's car, followed by Elcha driving an open jeep with the Mandali. Kumar rode his motorcycle after contacting several sadhus in Haridwar. Baba stopped the car at a spot where Kishan Singh had once thought about committing suicide, by jumping into the Ganges and drowning himself. Kishan remembered the place and narrated to Baba that in 1941 he was so distraught and miserable at not having Baba's darshan that he had gone to Haridwar to die. He was about to leap into the river when he suddenly saw Baba standing before him. Erich then recollected, "We also stopped at this spot in the New Life caravan in 1950. Baba asked Kishan to pay 1 rupee to a sadhu who was sitting there. Afterward, Baba approached the sadhu and touched his feet. After contacting another sadhu near the Chetan Das ashram, Baba, with the mandali, traversed over an unpaved road and proceeded some distance. There he encountered a saint who was completely naked. Baba had his contact, while Erich and Baidul were present. After the contact, Baba asked the mandali to take the saint's darshan with folded hands from a distance. When Baba was about to leave, the saint ran after him, inquiring from where he had come. He was told most of the mandali had come from Pune, while the rest were from Dehradun. After contacting this saint, Baba proceeded to the Guru Nanak ashram, where another saint, a Sikh, was found who served Baba hot, sweet rice. The saint was particularly pleased to see Baba. He lovingly gave Baba the sweet dish as prasad, which Baba partook with pleasure, as did the mandali. Baba then left for Kankal, where on the riverbank he found another must, who was a Jalali, fiery type. Elcha inadvertently drove the jeep right up to him. This annoyed the must so much that he took out a chisel as if to strike him. Elcha sought his forgiveness with folded hands, but this upset the must even more, and he took out another chisel. Elcha was terrified. Baba immediately walked toward the must, and when Baba smiled at him, the must threw down the tools. Baba's presence pacified him, and with a piece of charcoal, the must scrawled on a stone the license plate numbers of both the car and jeep. Because the must had lost his temper and was out of sorts, Baba did not contact him in private and returned to Haridwar. On the early morning of 4 March 1953, Baba and the men left Haridwar for Najibabad in the jeep and car. From an inquiry beforehand, they learned that the road was in good condition and was maintained by the forest department. But after driving some distance, the road was found to be in the worst possible condition. The whole roadway was full of dust and potholes. Because of all the bumps, many times their heads came in contact with the roof of the car. The jeep and the car were proceeding very slowly, and the driving was difficult due to many turns in the road. In the open jeep, which Elcha drove, Pendu, Alaba, Gustaji, and Kishan Singh got covered with dust from head to foot. Halfway through the forest, Baba halted both vehicles and distributed biscuits. It was a funny sight as they chewed biscuits while covered with dust, since there was no water in the forest for a wash. Kishan Singh was particularly irked because Baba was riding in his car, driven by Helen, or Helan. Naturally, Kishan wanted to sit there, but Baba again told him to go in the jeep. They stopped to eat at the Dak Bungalow in Kotdwara at 1:30 p.m. They had brought food with them from Haridwar. Before eating, the men washed their hands and feet, except Gustaji, who reasoned he would just get covered with dust again once the journey resumed. After the meal, they departed for Najibabad. Since the road was in much better condition, they arrived there without further trouble. Reaching Najibabad at about 5 p.m., Baba contacted a must who was in a majzub state, no body consciousness, oblivious of his environment. And Baba was happy with the contact. A search was then made for another one called Nanga Must, a great must whom Baba had gone to Najibabad to contact. After some time, it was reported that the must was sitting near a stream. But when the group arrived there, it was found he had gone to a particular village quite a distance away. Baba decided to drive there, and the must was found along the road. Since he would not comply when asked to sit in the car, Baba worked with him under a tree. And the side note says later in 1953, the naked must of his own accord walked the 65 miles from Najibabad to Dehradun to be near Baba. The Jeep had developed a mechanical problem while they were on their way to the village in search of the must. Leaving the Jeep behind, Baba proceeded in the car. The problem was fixed after a while, but Elcha drove the Jeep in the wrong direction. After he doubled back and they were on their correct way, Nanga Must was seen on the road. To stop him, Alaba stepped out of the Jeep, thinking that Baba may not have contacted him. But the musk did not want to be disturbed and kept on his way. Lest he may lose sight of him, Alaba walked by his side, and the others in the jeep drove toward the village to inform Baba. Upon reaching there, they were informed that Baba had already contacted him, so they turned back. They found Alaba keeping pace with the must, and Baba had the car stopped and contacted the must a second time alongside the road. They then proceeded to Muzaffarnagar. The jeep gave a lot of trouble, so Baba directed Elcha to drive ahead of the car. The jeep's fan had broken and there was a hole in the radiator. Baba's car, too, was having problems, and Helan thought if it was not attended to soon, some serious mishap would take place. He tried to fix it, but without success. At last, thinking that the car would cover the distance to Dehradun, he proceeded. Baba instructed Helan to overtake the jeep, which he did. But Baba's car then stalled on a bridge, and the men had to get out and push it to the other side. At about 12 miles from Muzaffarnagar, the jeep again broke down. Baba had decided to drive straight to the town, putting up at the dock bungalow. Meanwhile, Baidul went in search of a truck so the jeep could be towed to the rest house in Muzaffarnagar. To inform Baba, who had proceeded to Muzaffarnagar, Alaba set out on foot. A truck driver was asked to haul the jeep to Muzaffarnagar, but since he was going in the opposite direction, he could not comply. He said no truck would be available there for towing, so Pendu and Kishan Singh went to a nearby village in search of an ox cart. They failed to find one, but finally one villager agreed to provide one as soon as it returned from Muzaffarnagar. Adding to the confusion, in the meantime, Elcha departed for Muzaffarnagar in a truck to arrange meals for Baba and the Mandali. And so Pendu, Gustaji, and Kishan Singh had to stand helplessly alongside the road. They were much relieved when they saw Baidul and Alaba coming with a truck. The jeep was attached to the truck, which reached Muzaffarnagar at about 10 o'clock that night. With all these mishaps, Kishan Singh felt rather worn out and depressed. Baba called him, remarking, "Whenever I go out on tour for must work, my journey is always beset with difficulties, as you must have read in the Wayfarers. Wash your face, have dinner, and don't think about it." A discussion took place whether to tow the Jeep to Dehradun with the truck or to take it for repairs to Muzaffarnagar. Baidul took the arrangements in his own hands and at midnight brought a large tractor. The men inquired about its cost, and Baidul whispered, "Don't say anything. The man has agreed for just 10 rupees." Kumar cracked. "Even a fly would not fly to Dehradun for 10 rupees." Kumar was about to approach the owner of the tractor when Baidul prevented him, saying, "Don't interfere. Don't interfere. You all be quiet." Erich and Pendu praised Baidul, who said, "With great difficulty, I managed to get it so cheap. So don't create a stink over it." Elcha could not believe it and approached the owner of the tractor, but Baidul stopped him. Helan interjected, "No one would accept less than rupees 200 for towing a car from here to Dehradun." Irritated, Baidul said, "If the man hears you, everything will be spoiled." Baidul had forbidden anyone to speak to the owner of the tractor, but Helan managed to approach him quietly and asked about the hiring of his service. The man replied that his charge was rupees 200. "But you told our man it was only 10 rupees," Helan exclaimed. "What? Are you mad?" The man started the tractor and was about to leave. "Brother, just listen," Helan called to him. "Why should I listen to madmen?" he asked and drove off. Baidul was very upset with Helan, saying, "You have ruined everything. Have you any sense?" The men had a good laugh at Baidul's incredible ways. As it turned out, quite late at night, The Jeep was taken for repairs to an automobile shop in Muzaffarnagar. The mechanic promised to repair it by the next afternoon, but it was not ready until that evening. Pendu, Alaba, Elcha, and Gustaji remained behind, while Baba proceeded to Saharanpur on the morning of the 5th, accompanied by Erich, Helan, Kishan, Baidul, and Kumar. In Saharanpur, Baba directed Baidul to find a must known as Gathriwala. Baidul set out in search of the must and by mistake went the wrong way. But his mistake was a success, as he espied the must in a tailor's shop. So Baidul returned and informed Baba, who went to the shop. As asked by Baba, Baidul persuaded the must to sit in the car. The must was happy to accept Baba's invitation to go for a ride. Baba had the car driven away, contacted him in private on the outskirts of the city, and afterward dropped him off at the tailor's shop. Baba was highly pleased with this contact. On Baba's orders, Baidul fetched sweets and bread, which Baba handed to the must. The must was in a pleasant mood, and he did justice to the prasad. For a must to be in an agreeable mood for contact was most important for Baba, and without it, the result of his work would not be to his satisfaction. Therefore, Baba was always careful of the must's moods and to comply with their every wish. Baba would do whatever was required to keep them pleased. After his contact with Gathriwala, Baba proceeded toward Shah Sarai to contact an old Maulana, a Muslim learned man. In his search for this Maulana, Baidul came across another must, also called Maulana. He was reputed to be very religious and a servant of God, for he always had a copy of the Koran in his hand. Baba contacted him, bowed down to him, and gave him a 10 rupee currency note. Smilingly, Maulana stared at his coat pockets as he seemed undecided in which pocket he should keep the note. He began putting it in one pocket and then, after some thought, transferred it to another. This he did several times without arriving at any definite conclusion as to where to keep the note. This amused Baba. Baba remarked, "He is like a child," and he sent Baidul to ask him when he would be willing to come to Dehradun. Baidul asked, but Maulana refused to come. Baidul then tried to induce him by saying that in Dehradun he would be kept comfortable with very good food and new clothes. But the Maulana did not agree. Thereafter, Baba went to contact a must called Baula Hakim, an Unani traditional medicine doctor who would write out prescriptions to sick persons who came to him. In the company of Erich and Baidul, Baba contacted him and then sent the rest of the men for a glimpse of the high must. Baba then started in search of a must named Peshwari, who lived in a cemetery. Peshwari was a tall must with a very strong physique and fair complexion. His face was exceptionally brilliant. He was not found in the cemetery, but was spotted sitting on a dirt road in the open. Marvin, you ready to read? Unmute and
Do me a favor, just read one more page, then I'll take it. Okay.
you got it. Stopping the car some distance from the must, Baba alighted and started walking toward him. Seeing him coming, the must stood up and went to Baba, motioning as if he were going to whisper something to him. But nearing Baba, he pulled himself away and speedily walked off and sat down next to a room in the graveyard. For some reason, the must's mood was spoiled. Baba followed him. Seeing him coming, the must got up and started rapidly walking toward a nearby well. When Baba again approached him with Erich and Baidul, the must gave them water to drink, but he did not offer it to Baba. Then he again walked rapidly away, further into the cemetery. The must's mood was completely spoiled, and he looked troubled. This time, Baba followed him alone, but the must again avoided him and returned to the open space on the road where he had been sitting before. Finally, Baba was able to place his head on the must's feet, and by this simple ceremony, no one knows how many persons' fates were left to him to be settled. A burden the must had evidently hoped to avoid shouldering by evading Baba. Greatly pleased, Baba returned from the must and expressed his satisfaction with the contact. Baba's features were happily lit when he reached the car because Peshwari was an advanced must and his work with him had been successful. Afterward, Baba visited the cremation ground called Shamshan Ghat, where a must named Ragbir stayed. Ragbir had a beautiful face, and when Baidul first went to him, he had found a Sikh sitting beside the must. When Baba approached the must to contact him, the Sikh was again there, but he left of his own accord. Baba satisfactorily contacted the must and gave him a 10 rupee note. Baba then went to the fish market where an unidentified must had made his abode in a hut made of cardboard. Baba communed with him and expressed his happiness with the contact. On his way back to Dehradun, Baba twice contacted the old must Maulana. He was again asked if he could come to Dehradun, but the must was not willing. Baba remarked, "He is a very intelligent child." Also on the way back, another must was found alongside the road, who wore a shoe on one foot and a sandal on the other. Baba communed with him and was happy with the contact.
The journey in Saranpur came to an end when the group returned to Dehradun in the afternoon. Pandu and the others also arrived from Muzaffarnagar. Coincidentally, the Russian dictator Joseph Stalin died the next day, 7 March, in Moscow. He had been head of the USSR since 1924. Baba had intended to go to Kashmir also for his work, but he now indefinitely postponed going. Don had applied to the Ahmednagar police for a permit to go there, but now joined the group in Dehradun. Back in Dehradun, while conversing with the Mandali one day, Baba explained to Kishan Singh, using the metaphor of a train. To a freight train are attached many wagons. Some contain good material, some bad. Iron, copper, oil, waste products, etc., in different wagons. But whether it is good material or bad, when attached to the engine, the carriages go where the engine goes. The engine does not carry wagons of only good things, leaving the bad behind. Similarly, I am like an engine, and those who remain attached to me reach their destination, whether they be virtuous or vicious.
Oh, that's heartening.
Right. Well, I guess if they stay attached to Baba, they turn around from the vicious.
And us too.
Mm. Keiki Nalavala asked, but how do we remain attached to you? Baba replied, the meaning of remaining attached to me is to follow my wishes, to remember me, and to forget yourselves. Kumar said, that is an impossible thing, Baba. This type of joining depends on your grace. Baba replied, if you try, you will be deserving of my grace. I am the infinite ocean of mercy, and to shower mercy is my nature. If you throw sandalwood or filth in the ocean, does it have any effect on it? No, Kumar said. Why not? There is an abundance of fresh water in the ocean, and it does not give out fragrance if roses are thrown in it, or stink if garbage is dumped in, Kumar replied. Baba stated, the ocean absorbs within itself heaps of sandalwood or refuse, good things or bad, as it is unlimited. Similarly, if you throw, quote unquote, your good and bad actions upon me, absorbing them, I will free you from all bindings. But the meaning of throwing or dedicating to me is that you should thereafter completely forget such actions, because to remember them is not true dedication. On Friday, 13th March 1953, Bob explained about the farce of illusion and the evolution of opposites. The nature of evolution is of opposites. Never before was the world divided into two blocks of opposites, America on one side with its allies, and Russia on the other side with its satellites. This is what masters have worked out. They know how to do it. Evolution always consists of opposites. The bravest man today will be a first rate coward in the next birth, or he was in the last birth. Even the present life is one of opposites. A baby lives on milk and is absolutely free of lust, but as the child grows and changes his diet from liquid to solids, he becomes aware of lust. As he grows older, he experiences old age, and the outlook of life is thus changed again. He took birth and he dies, all opposites. If in one life there are so many points of opposites, how much more are there in the whole evolutionary process, whose very nature is opposites? On the morning of the 21st, Baba revealed to the Mandali and other disciples that whether the long awaited end of material bondage and the beginning of spiritual freedom, which he had of late repeatedly emphasized as drawing near, came by the end of April 1953 or at some other time, there are four events which must come to pass before he finally drops his body. Four incidents were to occur as preordained by God. He explained, it is an absolute certainty that before leaving my body, I will have to face universal humiliation, apparent universal defeat, and violent death, culminating in universal divine glory. By violent death, I mean that I will suffer great physical violence, preceding the glorious victory of divine truth. And this violence endured by my body will ultimately be the cause of my physical death. The manifestation of the divine truth will go hand in hand with the breaking of my silence. Let those sitting here with me today and those away from me at this moment beware and be ready. The time is close at hand. The moment has almost arrived when your sincerity and your utter surrender to your master will be put to the extreme test. It is not I, personally, but circumstances that will test the extent of your self dedication to me, your master. Baba further explained to the group that those who had adhered to him and those who are at present with him must be fully prepared for the necessary forthcoming humiliation, apparent utter defeat, and bodily violence, even at the cost of their lives. On the other hand, humiliation, defeat, and physical violence will not necessarily be encountered by all who are connected with me. Those fortunate ones who will face these onslaughts unhesitatingly and bravely and withstand their tests unflinchingly will ultimately be co-sharers and inheritors of the divine glory. And those who will flee from these apparent but imperative calamities will testify by their own actions whether their surrender was sincere and wholehearted or whether it was heavily encumbered by selfish motives. People generally have a very superficial understanding of what is actually meant by complete surrender of one's all, namely one's possessions, body, and mind, to a perfect master. The complacent belief of a disciple that he had completely surrendered to a master is due to ignorance and hypocrisy. Because if the significance of the words were weighed literally and pondered over deeply, it would be seen that if one's possessions, body and mind, the very core of one's existence, were entirely submitted to the master, there could be no room given for even a single thought of one's own, the mind now belonging to the master. It would be hypocritical even to move. Even to breathe would be hypocritical because the body has been surrendered. But this literal and impossible surrender is not required by the master from his disciples. What is demanded of a what is demanded of a disciple in his complete and absolute surrender to the will of the master, however contrary it may be to the dictates of the disciple's temperament, however opposing to his natural inclinations or beliefs, however difficult to admit within the restricted precincts of his mind. I'm going to read that sentence once more. What is demanded of a disciple is his complete and absolute surrender to the will of the master, however contrary it may be to the dictates of the disciple's temperament, however opposing to his natural inclinations or beliefs, however difficult to admit within the restricted precincts of his mind. Pointing to one of them, Baba cited as an example. Supposing I were to make you an emperor tomorrow, and the very next day bring you down to the level of a sweeper, you should accept the extremes with unswerving faith in my judgment. You must always try with undisturbed equanimity to fit into any given role at any given time, concerned only with the carrying out of your master's wishes. Turning to others, Baba continued, for a disciple, it suffices to obey. Your duty as a disciple is to obey as if you were not your own self, which is indeed literally true when you have completely dedicated yourself to the master. Never try to match your limited intellect or your reasoning against your master's will. Spontaneous acceptance by you of anything the master says or does, and your unquestioning obedience to him will safely steer you through any so-called crisis that you may have to face. Be brave, therefore, and be honest to yourselves. Obey the master, giving willingly whatever he demands of you. Play your parts well, as I too shall play mine, fulfilling all that is ordained for me by God. Whether I bring about this fulfillment by the end of April or by the end of any other year, it all rests with the will of God. And although it is not for you to concern yourselves with what is to come, I will tell you this much, that if it is not at the end of this April, then it will be between July 11th and October 16th of any coming year. At the outset of my fiery free life, I had said that I desired to bring about the climax by the end of April 1953. But to be honest with you all, I must say that as matters stand today, I find that there is a 50% setback in my preordained task. I will, however, with the remaining 50%, try to precipitate the great moment by working intensively for 21 days, commencing from March 24. During this period, I will exert myself with concentrated intensity to force the climax as I had planned and repeatedly declare to all my people these past few months. If my work, inshallah, God willing, is accomplished to my complete satisfaction, then you will see the end of April bring either an end to all chaos or the beginning of a betterment for the good of all. But if, on the other hand, the desired results are not obtained by the end of April, then take it from me that the opportune moment has not yet arrived, and that you and humanity at large will have to tax your endurance to the utmost, and your forbearance a little longer for this ordained hour of the age, which will come suddenly and when least expected. I ask you, therefore, not to be disheartened by my frequent procrastinations, and not to despair. And I warn you all to be alert and vigilant, ready to meet humiliations and difficulties with faith and confidence in the eternal victory of the divine truth. A week later, Baba's statement and some of his messages was issued in Life Circular number 9. Baba further told the Mandali, in all honesty, in God's name, I am longing for this period infinitely more than any of you. Until such time, have patience, have courage, and face the hardships with fortitude. By doing this, you will be helping me. What I have been telling all of you, there is no doubt God will fulfill it to the very letter. In June and July, I will do my work very intensely.
Thank you, Marvin. Mahu Sharyari, could you unmute and continue, please?
Yes, thank you, Jay Baba.
Jay Baba.
So this is page 3293 in Dehradun, the year 1953. After this declaration, Baba had an interview with Keshav Nigam, who spoke to Baba about the love the people of Hamirpur district had for him. Baba appointed Keshav to carry on his work there, warning him, quote, "In that work you may be ridiculed, humiliated, and even may lose your life." Keshav happily agreed to accept the responsibility. Keshav had brought the mast Shah Sahib from Hamirpur, and Baba worked with the mosque for a few days. Meanwhile, Baba allowed Keshav to stay in Dehradun for a few days. March 21st was celebrated as the Irani New Year, and Keki Nalawala's family was invited to spend the day with Baba. That's Nashwan's father. Although Baba had told Kishan Singh that he would not allow any darshans or interviews in Dehradun, since he wished to work undisturbed, nevertheless, after his arrival, people frequently came seeking darshan. A lawyer named Harichand Kochar, who had met Baba in Delhi the previous December, would sit from morning to evening in front of Baba's bungalow, and Baba often sent Kishan Singh to tell him to leave. At one point, however, Baba did go once to his house to console him. Several came with the intent to drive material gains, whereas others sincerely wanted Meher Baba's darshan. Opposite Meher Baba's residence lived Bal Kisan Bakhshi, 38, and his wife Meher Kanta, 33, who loved Baba dearly. They never once tried to come near Baba's bungalow or to send a request for darshan, and were never a hindrance. Thus, there were many who wanted Baba's darshan, and so Monday, 23rd March 1953, a public holiday for Ram's birthday, was fixed for that purpose. The darshan was publicized in the newspapers, but Baba forbade erection of a canopy and decided to give darshan in the hall of the Mandali's bungalow. The time fixed for darshan was from 8 to 11 a.m. and 2 to 6 p.m. Early in the morning, a large crowd collected and darshan began. To ask Baba for anything or to touch his feet was prohibited. Baba would hand prasad to each and touch his own forehead with his hand as they saluted him, repaying their homage to him. People were asked to leave as soon as they had taken darshan. Baba would allow some to sit beside him for 5 minutes. Then others would take their places to enable them to spend a few more minutes in Baba's company. And next page 3294. A youth from Kashmir named Jagdish insisted on touching Baba's feet. Quote, "I will touch his feet under all circumstances," he shouted. He was prevented, but cried out, "No power on earth will stop me from doing it." Erich tried to console the boy. To touch his feet would be against his express wish. Jagdish replied, "I am not going to obey his instruction." Kumar and Kishan Singh were about to lead Jagdish away, but Baba stated, "Let him touch my feet." He did it and wept bitterly. Baba lovingly pacified him, spelling out, "I do not permit anyone to touch my feet or bow down to me. You have done it with love, and that is good. Now, make the most of it by keeping me in your heart always, and go on loving me more and more until you realize me. Would you do it?" "Assuredly, Baba," the boy said. "I am very happy with you. Now my conscience tells me to touch your feet. Let me do it." Jagdish kept crying as Baba touched his feet. To make amends for the homage paid to him, Baba also touched the feet of 7 of the Mandali. The boy was led to the veranda, much distressed, where he sat weeping. Hindu, Muslim, Parsi, Christian, and Sikh, people of all religions came for Baba's darshan. When some Sikhs stood before him, Baba asked them to repeat a couplet of Guru Nanak. When they recited it, he advised them to practice in their daily lives what the perfect master Nanak had preached, and added, "If when we grow up, we become like children, childlike, not childish, then we can love God. Because to love God, we have to be desireless. Only one desire should be there, the one longing to be united with God. So when we grow up and become childlike, we can then honestly love God. We find God everywhere. Nothing can then shake, alter, or stop that perpetual happiness. But we must be honest seekers of truth. Great masters have taught us to act as we think and not boastingly. Nanak, who was God personified, always acted as Nanak Das, means the servant. I give you all my blessings. The son of Mr. Sagan of Amrotoi was a cadet at the National Defense Academy in Dehradun. He came to Baba dressed in his military uniform and said that he had received a letter from his father about Baba's Amroti programs and was sorry he could not attend them. After a few more remarks, he asked Baba, "When will you break your silence?" Next, page 3295. Erich interpreted Baba's reply. One thing is definite. Long before I drop my body, I will speak. The breaking of my silence will coincide with the breaking of the long-awaited silence of God. This so-called speaking, as you all speak, and as I used to speak before, will be of no avail, and my silence then would have no meaning. The word that will move the heart of all and make them feel that only God is real is to be the one word uttered which will carry infinite power behind it. So let us hope that God makes me utter that word soon. If I speak now, I can make people flock around me. But that would be just philosophers' talk. We have to be honest 100% in our mind and in our innermost self. Then this honesty makes us know that what God wills happens. So I will soon speak and let all know the word, capital word. Kishan Singh was an important official in the Air Force Accounts Department. When some of his office staff came for Baba's darshan, Baba explained to them, we have to be honest in our thoughts and deeds. God wants us to be absolutely honest. It is better not to believe in God than to pose as one who loves God. Only when we become honest can we find God, even while attending to our duties, because then we feel detached. So I give you my love and blessings for the attainment of this honesty. Keshav Nigam's brother, Devendra, brought a batch of students from the Ayurvedic college in Haridwar. Devendra told Baba, I want to see God. And Baba extemporaneously composed these lines in reply. Some seek money, some seek name. Some seek power, some seek fame. Some wants children, some wants God. Life is a joke and all is a game. Baba proceeded to explain the use of the word seek in the poem and spelled on the alphabet board. The word quote unquote seek is used when one seeks with all one's heart, one gets what one seeks. When you say you sought and did not find, it means you did not seek as you ought to have sought. If even God can be found by seeking, why should we not get the trifles? We seek after trifles. We seek after if we seek wholeheartedly. Page 3296. Now, how to seek God? Hafiz declares, only if you carry your life on your sleeves can you enter the path of divine love. That's what Hafiz says. So merely to say, I want to see God or I want to realize God is similar to an ant saying, I want to become an elephant. Mere words have nothing in them. The heart must thirst to see God. People of all beliefs were introduced to Baba. Kumar brought an atheist to whom Baba stated, everyone is an atheist until he finds God by actual experience. It is better to be an atheist and be honest in words and deeds than to pose as a lover of God and lead a dishonest life. God is completely independent. He needs no worship. He only wants us to be honest. Some had come to ask questions, though it was prohibited. One person somewhat arrogantly demanded, why has God created the universe? Smiling, Baba gave this answer. Who says God has created the world? We have created it by our imagination. God is supreme, independent. When we say he has created this illusion, we lower him and his infinity. He's beyond all this. And only when we find him in ourselves and our day-to-day lives will all our doubts vanish. Then we will not even have to think about him. We will have a spontaneous knowledge. We become. That's a masterpiece. Just as you are now a man, you do not have to even think whether you are a man or a woman. Do you ever ask yourself if you are a man or a woman? The answer is no, because you have become a man. So when we become God, then only do all your doubts vanish. Otherwise, it is just talk, reasoning, logic, and theory. I give my love to you all. How can we love God? One visitor asked. How to love God? How do you love everything? If you fall in love with a beautiful girl, what happens? But this is Baba says. No system or principle exists for such a man. He will not fear ridicule. If people call him mad, he does not mind. To lose oneself to find the beloved by hook or crook is the main thing. So when you become prepared in your heart of hearts to attain union with God by hook or crook, at the cost of your life and ridicule by the whole world, then maybe you can be said to have entered the lane of divine love.
Very nice. Thank you, Mahu.
Thank you. Baba is all out. Thank you. Jai Baba.
Jay Baba. Eva, could you unmute and continue, please?
Sure. Page 3297, Dehradun, 1953. We should love God as he ought to be loved. In the beginningless beginning, before creation, imagination gave a twist to substance. Importance was thus given to shadow, and the value of the substance was lost in the maze of illusion. So we, who were eternally free, found ourselves bound by this illusion. And in this unnatural, twisted game, we lost our original self. Then we had to experience misery in spite of possessing infinite bliss. And worries, doubts, failures, and helplessness are now our daily experience. If, in the fraction of a moment, the real knowledge comes that we are not this, but that infinite one, then all worries disappear or vanish. Because in reality, all these pleasures and miseries do not exist. And as ignorance persists, to get rid of ignorance and to know the true value of reality, we have to experience God. God, who is the breath and life of our lives, can be experienced only through honest love. We have to love him silently and honestly, even in our everyday walk of life. The least show of our love keeps God hidden. While eating, drinking, talking, and doing all our duties, we can still continuously love God without letting anyone know about it. When God is found, you can have no idea what infinite peace and bliss results. So I give you all my love, so that someday you can love God as he ought to be loved. Others inquired about the state of mind of those saints in us who are continuously in love with God. Baba explained, for those who come to the gate of love, it is torture. The pangs of separation from beloved God are so intense that only heroes can undergo it. And yet they seek no relief. Only he who suffers from the pain of longing can know it. And when it reaches its zenith, union with the beloved is achieved. Lovers of God are called Mardi Kuda. When one loves God, the only longing and continual thirst is for union with God. I want to see you, my beloved, is the constant cry of the mad lover. Circumstances do not touch this lover. Nothing upsets him. People may call him mad, may make him suffer untold hardships, but his only outlook on life is to see God. Heat and cold, disease and difficulties are not even thought by him. But the love of the worldly, who are absorbed day and night in the thought of God while discharging their daily duties, is even greater than the love of a Mardi Kuda. Such people are never bound by anything. They do everything, yet simultaneously do nothing. Later in the afternoon, some Air Force officers came with their wives. Some Air Force officers with their wives came for Baba's darshan. A few had read Baba's discourses and had written to Ahmednagar for darshan. Baba informed them, I am happy to see you and give my love and blessings. I would ask you to sit here, but it would not fair, as I have asked others not to, due to the rush of the crowd waiting outside to see me. In the morning, I was allowing people to sit here and was in a mood to give discourses. Anyhow, I give my love to you all because only that counts. Love is the only thing worth living for and dying for. If our love for God is as honest as he is, then such love gives us the knowledge that he is in everything and everyone. I give my blessings to you all. Bal Kisan and his wife, Mayor Kanta, had been waiting since morning, but had had no chance to see Baba. Baba called them and asked the latter, what do you want? Mayor Kanta's eyelids lowered shyly, and she explained, I don't wish for anything except your love. I will give you my love, Baba promised. Baba then repeated the same question to Bal Kisan, who answered, you have everything, and I am not worthy to ask for anything. You may give it to me or not give it to me as you choose, but do make me yours forever. I am extremely pleased with you both, Baba replied. Both of you are mine. This couple was subsequently responsible for the creation of a center named Mayor Dham in Dehradun, and Baba truly bestowed this gift of love on them. Virendra Pandey and his wife also saw Baba that day. Some seeking darshan brought their physical and mental affliction to Baba's attention. Baba instructed them individually, but at the same time, warned them to literally carry out his advice and under no circumstances discard it. Dr. R.P. Gupta brought us his mentally retarded 8-year-old daughter to Baba, and Baba stated he would help her. He instructed the doctor to repeat God's name 101 times over a glass of water, give it to the girl to drink, then bring her back to Baba after some time.
Thank you, Eva. We'll stop here
Okay.
and continue on page 3299 next week. Mahu, did I get your last name correct? Shariar?
Yes, Shariari, you did it very correct. In fact, I was surprised. I said you did such a good job.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
It's unusual, but same as Baba's name, Shariar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in English it's spelled like SHE, and I noticed that I think you spell it SHA double.
H, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the Farsi version or Irani version of pronouncing it or spelling it, whereas Parsi way or old Zoroastrian way is Sherior, SHE. Yeah,
Uh-huh. Oh, okay. There's a difference.
is the same but different pronunciation. Yeah.
Yeah. I must say I like the Farsi way. Sharyar.
Shah, yeah. Shah is Shah. That means king. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Baba is a king. Yes. I just came back from India, guys, so I gotta announce that.
Oh,
It
that's
was
nice.
the most lovely. Oh, I can't even begin to tell you how beautiful it was. Just a little bit jet lag, but it's worth every second of it. We must go, guys. We must go. The world is changing, everything is a big mess. So
Did-
I was afraid that if I wait, I might not be able to go. So I did go. Because, soon, who knows?
I'm glad you could get back into the States. It seems like
No,
some.
I am a US citizen. I
Mm.
have lived in USA for the past 46 years, which is much longer than Iran. Because when I was 17, I came here.
Ah.
And so in fact, it was just so I put it in front of immigration officer. I was the first one, and he said, Mahbube, my real name is Mahbube. He looked at it, Mahbube. I said, yes, Shariari. And then he said, okay, go. It's like that. It all very depends on the personality. Some of them are more easygoing than the other. Yeah. So it's all Baba.
Did you see any snakes in India?
No, in fact, now you hardly see snakes. I must tell. This was the most wet monsoon I've ever been. I used to go to India mostly during the August, September, and that's a monsoon time. But particularly in Maharashtra and Mehrabad, the whole entire time I was there, I did not see one sun.
Wow.
It was just raining, which is beautiful. Now the special green. Mehrabad has a special green color. Everything is green. Everything is green. And wet, muddy, wet, because it rains. It was just raining. It was windy and it was cloudy, which was very good. But I was missing India's sun because it has a very warm taste to it. And there was absolutely no sun.
Wow.
So that was the way it was. Yeah. Anyway, it was a quiet time because it looks like they really get a big crowd this year because it was 100 anniversary of Baba's silence. So apparently Trust organized 3 days event, and they put the pandal out, and from all over India, they said anywhere between 5 to 6,000 showed up, which is quite a bit for Silence Day.
Oh.
So it was big, they said. Yeah. Well, now it was after Silence Day. I left on July 14, from California. Whatever time it takes you, add another 6 hours to it, or 5.5. In California to India whereas from New York or East Coast, it's actually closer, because we have to
interesting.
take 6 hours to come to East Coast and then from there. So it was a long trip, but it was very worth it. Yeah, for you
Yeah.
guys, for Marvin, for Marsha, for you, Eugene, is even shorter. So just go. Just go,
I wish it
man.
was
Just
that easy. I
go.
wish it was that easy.
No, it's easy. It's how you want it to be. Especially, you retired, Marvin. What's your obligation? You take care of your grandchildren? Just put it
No,
on hold
no,
for
no.
some.
I take care of my wife.
Oh, now you take care of your wife. But one thing I must tell you, and this is not the claim, Baba said not about Myrtle Beach, but about India. He particularly said, and Mandeli told us, when you come to India, do not worry about anything whatsoever, and not your family, not your house, not your finances, not your job. I take care of everything for you. And it has been occasions with really something needed supervision, especially when I was single. I didn't have anybody to look after my affair, and Baba somehow took care of it. So if he really wants you there, Marvin, he takes care of other things for you.
Well, he arranged so I got there once already. So when he's ready, he'll get me there again.
When he's ready or when you're ready. It has
When he's
nothing to
ready.
do with you. He's waiting for your desire and longing. Then he says, okay, time for Marvin to go. He turned the key like this.
Well, I'm still working on, first of all, I want to go to the center in Myrtle Beach, and I want to go to the Northeast Gathering in September. So I got 2 other destinations I'm working on right now.
Yeah, those are also lovely. It all depends on what pulls us in. Whatever that pulls you in, that's it. That's your sanskaras. That's where you're supposed to be.
You're right.
Yeah. So Eugene, it's your time then.
All right, folks, I got to run along
All
here.
right. Good to
Jai
be
Baba,
with
everyone.
you.
We'll see you all again soon. Bye-bye.
Much love, Jay Baba.
Jai Baba.
Thank you.
See you, Marcia.
Jai
See
It
Baba,
was
Ma.
today was incredible. Baba's messages was woohoo. I'm
I was
gonna read
thinking it
them
was
again.
Friday, so I was looking for Pratap or Meher Darvula. And
Oh,
I'm way
you-
off on time, so it was
Oh.
interesting, so I stayed.
Well,
But-
stay for Jonah's flow meditation if you
Oh,
have
Yeah, he's
wow, is
coming.
that today? Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
we'll
okay.
start in a minute.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? I haven't seen him in a while. So I should get comfortable for meditation, right? Yeah. Moving. Ugh.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, Joan.
So, yeah, on.
Sorry, your audio cracked or something.
Okay. Yeah, I'll get the audio better in a second.
Oh, I can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I picked up a bike this morning to check it out. It's gonna be a bit of a longer. It's gonna be. I have it out for 2 days, like kind of a 2-day test ride, because the guy's going away and I have to take it to a mechanic.
Wow.
But I ran into some issues. There was this storage box, and the key to it broke the first thing. So that's why. Yeah,
It,
that's
it was in a storage facility, you mean? The bike was?
now. I'll show you in one what happened. Connected on my audio. Let me remove the background here and then flip the screen around. Let's see. Okay, so this is our guy over here, and yeah, this lock, the key for this like totally snapped just when I was turning it. The key kind
I
of
see.
snapped in the lock. Yeah, so you had to drill out the holes, and my wallet was in here, so it was in a pocket of this. So I just like got to the gas station and the key snapped, and then yeah, I had to like go back and we had to do that.
Wow.
So
Uh-huh.
that was this morning, but now we are moving again. So Marcia, thank you so much for joining this morning. Again, it's great to have you with us
Did you
too.
find your wallet? Did you
Yeah,
get-
yeah, I
good,
got the wallet was in
good.
there. Now we got gas, we got a full tank and all of that. And we're under very nice
Where are you at
little
now?
redwood tree. This is
Where are you?
Santa Rosa. This is Santa Rosa,
Oh, wow.
California. Yeah, yeah, we got some nice violet flowers and everything. So we can get to our meditation. And how's everybody doing this afternoon or this morning?
Very nicely. Here in New York, we just had a nice rainstorm after having, I don't know, a month of drought. You know,
Okay.
all my weeds were just dying and becoming crispy. So I'm glad that we got a nice
Okay.
drenching.
It turned cold in Chicago, which is good. It's in the 60s.
Ah,
Sunny.
yeah.
Hmm.
The Midwest
Okay,
is
in
pretty
Chicago.
cool. Yeah. Well, I'm a
Cool.
suburb, but I was in Chicago, but now I'm
All right.
in
Yeah, I
Vernon
passed
Hills.
through Chicago coming from here to New York.
Well,
You
stop
know,
by.
probably been 2-3 months ago. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, you're
It's on
coming
the
by, or
way.
you've already passed
I
through?
already did. But I'm sure I'll do it again at some point because when you go kind of on that northern route across, it's there. So for the recording, I see it's still recording. Is that from the last meeting, or like should we stop it and start it? What do you think, Jen?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think I forgot to
All
stop the
right,
recording.
just
Yeah.